That should be fine. So we're on the map Punjab. One of my favourite maps. One of my absolute favourite maps, I have to say. It's just a classic. There's no water play, but, you know, there's good edges. There's a cliffside. There's a decent TP line. It's just, you know, there's no nonsense in Punjab. So on the right-hand side, we have Julian playing as China. Deadly, deadly save. And I'm going to struggle not to root for Kevin as best as I can this game, because he is playing my favourite civilization, which is Mexico. Kevin going for the USA and Mexico. What is this? I feel like it's a Lionheart stream. What's going on? Absolutely can't wait to see what Kevin's going to do with Mexico. I have to say, being a Mexico main, it's a tough matchup for Mexico. Not only just because China are just good in general, it's just particularly tough for Mexico. China, historically, have always been relatively weak. We say weak, but their Achilles heel has always been cav and heavy cav. Mexico, they have decent cavalry, don't get me wrong, but they just, the ability to mass enough of them before the death roll from China starts to get going is very difficult. So it's going to be very, very difficult for Mexico to mass cav. Big Ungus in chat. How you doing, Ungus? He's saying Peaky Rush China. Definitely an option. I like to do a bit of a semi-insurgent rush. I definitely think that's the best way to do it here. I will just put on this baby. Always on it for casting. There's something... This single-handedly, that hotkey to be able to do right-click drag, there's something orgasmic about it. I don't know why, but for casting, it's just beautiful. Look, just go with the flow, baby. Go with the flow. Look at that. Just beautiful. So we've got, I imagine, yeah, both guys are going for opening with a trade post. To be honest with you, most civilizations actually do now start trade post. Mexico, it's just pretty natural. Also, wow, okay, so let's take a quick look. Tea Leaves card coming in, Tea Export coming in first for Julian. But also one thing to mention, he doesn't have the villager card either. Normally you see with a TP start, you see 2 cards used in age 1. So you will see the villager and then Tea Export. And it doesn't really matter which one you use first. I like going for Tea Export first, because the building, the consulate, when it gets put down, gives you a decent amount of experience. So you get your second shipment quicker. So, but that's just me, and I will prove that theory in just a second. So when this goes down, you should see a nice chunk. You should get a shipment. So there's that 50 XP, and bang! As soon as that goes down, he's got his second shipment. It's not a lot, but it's you know, a decent amount. Relatively not that aggressive, but kind of aggressive for line of sight and vision, and he's picked up a few cows as well, so that's going to really really help that hacienda. Now 1 cow produces 0.17 food, so you know, if you've got, what is that, 5 of them there, I think that's 5 in total. Oh, it's 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not a cow, is it? That's something different. Okay, so buffalo and cow. So between them, you know, it's basically, it's not far off a villager on food. You know, plus you've got the hacienda. So in total now, the hacienda is gathering 1.33 food. It's basically 2 villagers on food, no walking time, etc. So finding cows and yaks and all that sort of good stuff, goats, is always really good for Mexico. Gonna be picking up 75 wood. Brilliant treasure, brilliant treasure. So now getting hunting dogs. He did get the... I did think he was going a bit greedy, so he went for TP. And normally when you go for TP with Mexico, you have to chop to get the extra 100 wood to get a house. So he did go for a market as well, but he didn't do any of the upgrades for it. He is now just got hunting dogs, so we'll see what his next plan of action is. Going heavy on food, which may tell me he's going for insurgents, or he's now just switched over. I can't really tell what he's going to be doing. Could be looking for revolt. Interesting deck. Has gone for the cathedral as well as the second card. This is obviously very good. It's basically a church on steroids. It gives you insane amount of XP. It in this radius as well, it will repair for free any buildings within the radius. So if you get rushed, it's very, very effective for that. So we'll see what Mexico are going to do. Okay, not that aggressive barracks. So Not that aggressive. Does look like he's going to go for some insurgents, though. How you doing, everyone? How you doing? I am going to probably try and ask people if they can refrain from using the alerts as much as possible, because we are casting. But how you doing, Hawk Girl? Good to see you here. As well as Blackburn and Crishino. How you doing? How you doing, guys? Okay, so we've got 5 settlers coming in. Steel traps coming in. And then 700 gold. So maybe this is what I was saying about, maybe we're seeing like a semi-FF. So like a semi-insurgent FF. That's what I'm going to presume he's doing. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what else the gold, whatever purpose that serves as. So 7 insurgents, not really that good, but it will be able to take down a trading post very effectively if left uncontested. Let's have a quick look at what Juliank is doing. Really nice response here. So I presume he's gone for 700 gold, which he has. So he's going for the fast fortress. Pretty standard build order. He's got the blockhouse with the Russian consulate. I imagine he'll switch that up to the British consulate very soon. And now he's shipping HU canoes in response to these insurgents, which is definitely nice if he can save his TP. If he loses the TP, the HU canoes are going to be pretty worthless. Not worthless, but not great. And it looks like with some nice Dazona, or we'll just call him the hero, the monk, with some nice micro there, it's delayed that TP going down. I do feel like he should have focused on his insurgents taking this TP down, because he probably could have taken that down. And now that the 8 bows are out, he has got very effective value out of those bows, because it's going to keep a 200 wood trade post alive. And you can't understate that. You know, keeping that trade post throughout the fast fortress is really, really important. Taking it down early, you know, it does come at quite a hefty cost for your Fortress China. Hasn't switched, so he's still on standard army. Maybe that's intentional. You tend to want to use the banner one, the one that gives you old Han army, the pikes and Expos. Or if you're playing against Germany or quite a cav heavy civ, I do like to go for the anti-cav one as well. Picking up some more treasure here using the Padre. Going to be picking up a nice 100 food there. So Fortress Age is now coming in. Going up the Porcelain Tower. It tends to be the favourite meta at the moment. Going for the Porcelain Tower. Insane eco. It's essentially a factory. It's just, you know, if you're being rushed, there is the option to go for the other wonder, which gives you the arquebusiers. It does give you free flying crows as well, but that's sort of somewhat out of the meta these days. Porcelain Tower, the eco advantage that it just gives you is just absolutely insane. Village trying to get done here. It looks like he may have taken down a villager here, or is this the one that's going to build it just now? Okay, so nice scouting there. Unfortunately, it's just going to be a bit too late, and the bows, very nice by Julian, are just covering this villager anyway, and that's going to be a nice place for a village as well. Padre going down by the cav. Sorry I missed that. Steppy Rider really catching him well there. Does take one Steppy Rider down though, and that one's on half HP. But getting that XP from taking down your Padre is really nice. So well played there. Market going down as well. We do see 700 wood, so I kind of like this. He skipped the 2 villagers in Age 1, but instead opted for the 700 wood. And I really like that, because when I've been playing quite a bit of China recently, and I do feel like skipping 700 wood can be quite detrimental. It does slow you down, and you know, people tend to just go for the Porcelain Tower and then get wood and put some villagers on. But I like this. This could be something. This is definitely something I'm keeping in mind for when I play China, because I'm really trying to practice China, and for whatever reason, I'm just not very good with them. We'll take a quick look over to Kevin, see what he's doing, building some insurgents now. He did go for the semi-FF, like we said, so he tried to get some insurgents out. He went for some pressure, tried to take a TP down. Unfortunately, didn't get any value out of that. But he did force Julian to send 8 bows, the Chuganu card, in Age 2. So, in that sense, he did get value out of the insurgents. Going for heavy Soldados. Soldados, great musketeer. They do cost 2 population slots. They are very expensive for a musketeer. They're about double a normal musketeer when you take into consideration how much gold they're worth. So, you know, basically, they cost almost as much as a cavalry unit. if not more than certain cavalry units in the game. So very expensive, but absolutely deadly. At all stages in the game, may I add, I like soldados throughout the entirety of the game. They're good at the beginning of the game, and they're very good at the late game. Unlike other musketeers that take 2 population space, let's say Malta's musketeers, they tend to kind of very much drop off in the late game, but they're very good in the early game. Not soldados, baby, not soldados, but they do come at a hefty cost, a hefty price tag. So he's going for the classic. This feels like a Lionheart game. He's going for the classic Musk Falk. I like it. I think it's good. However, he's going to need something else to back it up. China have lots of effective ways of dealing with falconets, whether it's their cav, which have really good range and artillery bonuses, or if it's the hand cannons. I presume it's going to be Julian's going to be going for cav. Falconet's getting a nice pop there. Is aiming for the Summer Palace. Would be nice if the Summer Palace goes down. That's going to be a little bit... It's only 18 HP. That's not too much, but that's nice scouting there from Julian. These soldados do have really nice siege attack as well. We'll take a quick look at Julian and see what he's going to produce. He is opting to go for the cav, and he's making more cav. The Forbidden Army coming out as well. Really nice. 240 XP for taking that down. And bye-bye. No more free armies coming out of the Summer Palace there. Really nice catch from Kevin there. Almost catching Julian a little bit off guard because it is 11 minutes in the game. He doesn't have much to show for it. He is only now just changing his consulate. Feel like maybe he's forgotten about that. And I really like this packing up now, but a really, really nice catch. Oh, and the cav are coming in from the background, and that is not something Julian expected. The soldados are going to be covering these cav really, really well. And if these falconets, at least just one falconet stays alive, then the skirmishers are not going to be too much of a problem. Soldados just melting these cavalry away. And one falconet goes down. Cav are still in the game. He needs to get those cav flanking. Yep, back them up and go for those skirmishers. The skirmishers are going to take the second falconet down, but at what cost? He still has almost all his soldados left. They are veteran as well. And these cav should, with good mark... Okay, so deciding to back up. I don't know if I like that. I think you should take out the remainder of those skirmishers. More cav coming out, but that's not going to do a lot. Chinikos, remember, do have cavalry bonuses as well. If he can micro down the cav, yeah, he's just going to one-pop them. Really, really well played by Kevin. It looked good for Julian for a second, and he really got that sandwich with those expos, and I really like the idea. However, unfortunately, he did not expect the cav, and how much Chinikos has just come out of absolutely nowhere. Let's take a quick look, and I presume it's the feudal card that he's just sent in, which gives him 10 per, so you get essentially an extra soldado, extra Chinico per card you've sent in the game, and bang, that comes out at perfect timing. The tempo completely in Kevin's favor here. He doesn't even have to micro that hard. He can just slam him in. That's what she said. And just make sure that there's no too many swordsmen in the way. Look, at the top there, just perfect. Taking down all the skirmishers. Soldados in the background. These guys have 43 ranged attack, may I add. So if they get in close enough to skirmishers, they're just going to absolutely destroy them. You really don't want them to get anywhere near you. Chinico's really just destroying everything in their path. And Muggins over here telling everyone that Mexico have no effective way of massing cav, and bang. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect cav switch from Kevin there. Really, really effective play. Looks like we got some alarms going off here, but that was probably that cav, which is now dead. More Chinicos coming in now. Going for the porcelain tower, I like it. Would I go for the porcelain tower straight away? Maybe. I'd probably like to see the villagers go down, but porcelain tower is probably the most effective play here. You take that out of the game, and there's the GG. Absolutely nothing Julian could do anything there. That first big fight, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Really, really nice play. And Kevin just showing the way in how to do a really effective semi-FF there, from utilizing that San Luis Patriots really, really well, giving him 10 Chinicos at around 11, 12 minutes of the game. And that was the boost he needed. I want to mention, I felt like Julian may not have been massing enough. He had a lot of resources there at the end as well. And I just felt like he got caught off guard and probably didn't expect Mexico to be so aggressive like that. You know, he did have the hand mortars. He does have, okay, he doesn't even have the hand mortars in his deck. That's interesting. He looks like he switched out double-faced armor for hand mortars, which I like. However, the 5 meteor hammers just felt like they didn't come out quick enough to be able to deal with those falconets. And really, really well played. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely insane game. We'll check on the statistics there. Risotto in chat saying we should take notes. We 100% should, Risotto. We definitely should. I do feel like Julian took a huge risk with the bows coming up for the south flank, or the flank behind Kevin, and it looked really good. However, you know, it didn't work out. The Cav just came and took out all the bows for free, essentially, and then Julian was just left with, you know, not much cavalry to take out with the falconets. His skirmishers were shooting the falconets, and it just didn't go to plan. So a little bit of fortunate timing there for Kevin, but other than that, just flawless play by Kevin.